African.
Too much.
Okay. The African Nine Safari. What's that?
To drive through here.
No, doesn't seem to be anything in there.
Well,
Okay, stop. There's nothing to see. Don't record it.
okay. Llamas.
Those are really crazy people now. Die Autos hat der Tour offen. Das hat die Tour offen.
Okay.
I got them.
Okay, stop. It's good to try and.
On your right-hand side, we have our pack of llamas. The llama originally come from South America, and they were first domesticated by the ancient Incan civilization a few thousand years ago. A herd of llamas consists of a few females with one male, and they lead list herds of up to 200 males strong. Destruction of their habitat has led to the llama becoming part of the endangered animals list. When fully grown, the llama will stand about 2 meters in height, weighing up to 136 kilograms.
That's a mommy and a poppy here.
On your left-hand side, we have our herd of Watusi cattle. The Watusi can both be spotted and solid in color. Originating in eastern Africa, these medium-sized cows with large and impressive horns are a definite showstopper amongst the bovine kingdom. These stately animals possess the largest and most dramatic horn of any breed of cattle. The horn also acts as a natural cooling system. Blood circulates through the horn to disperse heat and cool down before it returns to the body, thus helping the animal to regulate its body temperature.
Don't move it too much.
Watusi also have a long rope-like tail, which provides to be useful for swatting away insects.
You had to sit always to make her bus, so. But he has to sit sometimes. It's okay when he wants to come, but he can't stand here.
Okay, show you. Daddy.
The whole thing gets better. Oh, great. Just see them opening the windows.
It's a leopard. You see it?
This bus doesn't have
Cheetah, maybe.
air brakes, so you can't like steal it.
I think it's a cheetah.
Behind us.
This is a breeding compound.
Leopard.
Area on your left-hand side is our cheetah breeding compound. There's only been a limited success in the captive breeding of this rare species, but the African Lion Safari is pleased to announce that 18 baby cheetah have been born here at the park since 2001. We'll actually be traveling through a reserve of cheetahs roaming freely in just a few minutes.
They'll be roaming this weekend.
Hey, don't record now.
Unrelated cats that were acquired from zoological institutes. It's important for zoos to work together in the exchange of these animals to promote genetic diversity.
I don't think it's better.
Pick a side, any side.
They just don't know. They don't read the sign. It says make 2 lines. They make 1 line. Yeah. Close the window. Yeah, they have 2 open, huh?
The big window, the big sign.
Probably this one.
Are you getting some?
There's a lion.
See the lions up on the stone? See, we'll get them on both sides up there.
That's because they all stop.
Okay, zoom stop.
Saying they're really well fed, that's why. Because they only go after that. I'm so well fed.
And it looks like they don't have too many cares.
Oh, there was a car that broke down in this reserve back in July. What they had to do, because it broke down just right over there, the wheel on the axle, like the axle broke out, so the wheel's like facing up. Because normally what they do is they hook it to one of the pickup trucks and just pull it out when they could. So they had to close down the reserve, so they pulled the like,
2 right beside each other.
Mommy.
The 2 are right beside each other.
Okay, look over the other way.
Lions are social creatures and they live in prides of 5 to 20 members. Each pride consists of males and females with cubs of various ages. People normally associate the lion with Africa, but yet as the species is developed, more was found in Europe during the last ice age. Their domain is now limited to the south of the Sahara, with a small number living under protection in the Gir Forest of India. On your left-hand side there under the platform, we do have one baby lion. His name is Zaid. Lion cubs are born after a 3.5-month gestation period, at which time usually 1 to 6 cubs are given birth to. They can walk within 10 days after birth, and they're capable of running by the time they're 1 month
There's the
old.
baby. Right there. The baby's right there. It's in there. It's in that section.
Hunting is generally done in the early morning hours, and it's interesting to know that this is mostly done by the lioness. All of the meat-eating animals you see here today are called carnivores. They're fed 1 to 3 kilograms of meat for 6 days of the week, and on the 7th day they fast. Lions are rather lazy creatures, and that they commonly sleep 15 to 20 hours each day. In captivity, lions can live 25 years or more, but in the wild they seldom live more than 10, as this is the result of being injured by other lions and their prey.
Must be done talking so all day long. My arm will be tired.
She doesn't look too worried with her arm out the window.
Cheetah. Cheetah is the what do you say?
Don't record segments like that. It's too hard to watch. You're recording.
I have to look at
Stop. There's nothing there.
they all wanted to let me meet the cheetah.
Okay, can you get them now?
It's a cheetah.
One of the animals that is fast disappearing from this changing earth is the cheetah. It's a truly rare and endangered species. Man destroyed many of the areas where a cheetah lived along with its food supply. When ranging throughout Africa, the Middle East, and India, the cheetah can now be found in eastern and southern Africa. The cheetah's coat is a sandy brown one marked with solid black spots which provide the cheetah with splendid camouflage. Lightweight, strong, fine bone with an elegant head and long legs, the cheetah is built for speed. Speeds of 90 to 100 kilometers an hour may be reached, but for only short sprints. Unlike all of the cats, the cheetah only have semi-retractable claws, and this provides them with a high degree of traction when running and launching their attacks. Cheetahs go in at night between 5:30 and 6:30. When the sun begins to settle, the cheetahs know it's time to start heading up there. If they decide they don't want to head up there, the cable animals in this little stretch, it just serves as a buffer region between our carnivores and the other animals here at the park. This one's called the Wanky Bushland Trail. It's home to a group of East African baboons. The road leading off to your left-hand side is our Monkey Jungle Bypass Road. It's designed for people that do not wish to enter this reserve, as you do enter at your own risk, and there's a great possibility of damage to your vehicles.
Stop recording. Yeah, he saw it.
That's so funny.
Get him on the car.
Oh dear. You left their feet. Just love that, eh? Okay.
On your left-hand side, just on the other side of that silver car, we have 3 of our miniature zebu. They originated in India, and they're the oldest and smallest breed of cattle in the world. To be considered miniature, they must not exceed a weight of 600 pounds and must not exceed a height of 42 inches.
They just jump right on there.
Look at all the baboons.
They're crazy.
The thing is, when the game warden goes past, she knows who's feeding them, because that's when all the monkeys are on the
Yeah,
car.
oh yeah, there they come.
She won't do anything about it. She never does.
The Baboon is a very interesting social organization that begins at birth. Each member has his or her own place in the structure, punished by tail biting, accompanied by screeching.
Mouth wide. That's a banana peel and it's the one with the banana. Up there, up in that town.
We'll drive around there.
Oh my god, that would be in the back of the truck. Look how small they are!
When baby baboons are first born, their fur is black and they have red faces. For the first 3 months of their life, they will cling to their mother's underside as this is the best position for them to nurse. As they get older, they will run on their mother's backs. Baboons are ground animals who are primarily vegetarians. They eat seconded roots and fallen fruit and small prey such as birds and mice. When fully grown, the baboon will weigh about 40 kilograms and up to 20 years of age. We caution our visitors not to open their windows as political and friendly as these baboons seem. They can be extremely harmful and have very sharp teeth.
Wow! Ein Stoff did that, huh?
The car that just pulled in behind the bus is gonna mess up the other bus because cars aren't supposed to go up here.
Stop wiggling. Shut her off, save some batteries.
Wait, I want to get them up in the tower.
I got it.
The two are like fighting.
Look like little aliens or something.
Yeah. They're tiny.
Those two are wrestling up there at the top. Did you get this?
Wrestling.
Look at that one up there. He just climbed across the beam. More babies.
We're extremely large baboon on your left-hand side. They're just sitting atop of the platform. That's our alpha male. His name is Doc. He does weigh 100 pounds.
He's huge.
Alpha male. That's what all men strive for.
They're wrestling.
They play really good. Look at them like brothers.
3 of them.
Oh yeah, that's who they are.
Down here on the bottom, they wrestle on the bottom floor. It's too bad.
Maybe they're wrestling down here.
Don't wiggle it.
I'm trying not to.
How do you say on the rope? They come down on the rope. Comfortable sighting.
How many are they?
speeds of 70 kilometers an hour. In contrary to popular belief, ostriches do not bury their head in the sand, but when pursued, they will often lay down with their heads and necks stretched out across the ground to avoid from being seen. Surprisingly, the ostrich is not a very intelligent bird, and we know this because its brain is approximately the same size as one of its eyeballs.
Oh, we're going to have rhinoceros. Rhinoceros coming.
My baby.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
The white animals laying down on your left-hand side, those are scimitar horned oryx. They're desert-dwelling antelope, and they get the name from the curious shape of their horns, which resembles a scimitar, and this is an Asian sword. Both males and females possess these horns, and they can reach lengths of 2 meters. They once lived throughout northern Africa, however now can only be seen in zoos, as they're considered extinct in the wild due to excessive hunting and habitat loss.
Get him right.
Yeah.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Daryl.
Here comes another one. Did you get a picture?
Too close. I got them. No, it was too close.
Rhinoceros, rhino.
On your right-hand side there, we have our white rhinoceros, but as you can see, they're not actually white, but they're a slate gray in color. Essentially a grazing animal, they're squared-mouthed with pad-like lower lip and able to crop the grasses. They're strictly vegetarians. The rhino takes between 70 to 80 bites per minute, chews and swallows. The rhinos are mainly active in the morning and evening, and they enjoy wallowing in the mud in the heat of day to cool themselves down. Wallowing in the mud also helps reduce irritation caused by biting fleas and ticks. The rhino's nails completely roll over because of projecting vertebrae, thus they must care for one side of their body, stand up, and then care for their other side. When fully grown, the rhinos stand about 2 meters in height and weigh up to 5,000 pounds.
Zebras and antelope.
Look at the glider there, right? You see that?
Daddy, move. Daddy, can you move your head?
See the glider? The glider's right under above us too. It just went over us.
Rhino.
That's a cooking though, huh? Da ist ein Ding, da ist eine Giraffe, die rennt. Die ist gerannt.
An adult eland can weigh up to 1,000 kilograms and reach heights of 6 feet. The distinctive characteristics of the eland are their enormous hollow horns that are almost 1 meter in length. Most attempts to domesticate them have been successful.
knows how to make the move.
Okay.
Oh my god, they try to feed the animals. They're crazy.
Look at the wildebeest.
This red one tries to feed them now.
Zebra.
The funny looking gray animals laying down on your right hand side there, those are our white-bearded wildebeest. They inhabit the grassy and open plains of southern, central, and eastern Africa. They have nostrils equipped with flaps to help filter out the dust created as they're continually on the move. Weighing between 140 and 275 kilograms, the wildebeest is the sixth largest of Africa's 71 antelope species. Their gestation period is about 8.5 months, at which time they'll have a single offspring, and it's interesting to know that their babies can stand within 3 to 7 minutes after birth. Some of our zebra. The zebra is considered the wild horse of Africa, and they're the most numerous and preyed upon creatures to inhabit the African continent.
Not yours.
Unlike the domestic horse, the zebra is almost impossible to train. They have neither the horse's endurance nor intelligence that make the horse a friend of man. They do have sturdy legs which enable them to run at speeds of 65 kilometers an hour. The zebra can be easily recognized by its bold black stripes which completely encircle its body and especially broad on its haunches and rear end.
Look, one of them thinking. Yeah, you tell them.
Ryan, 2 weeks old.
The reason they're in there is because they're introducing it to all the other ones.
Oh, they're making a film in the moment. That's why they have the green screen there.
How old is it?
On your right hand side there we have our Rothschild, the Baringo giraffe. The giraffe have their own unique set of spots, which like you and I have our own unique set of fingerprints. When first born, the giraffe stands about 1.8 meters tall and weighs about 65 kilograms. When fully grown, the giraffe reach heights of 6 meters and weigh up to 1,500 kilograms. Their gestation period is between 14 to 16 months and they'll have a calf once every 24 months. Except for defense of itself, your young giraffe do not attack other animals, but they're able to defend themselves by delivering terrible blows with their legs. Although half the giraffe's head is composed of neck alone, it's interesting to know that they have the same number of vertebrae as a mouse, which is 7.
Did you get the baby or not?
If you look really closely on your right hand side, just by the green screen there, we do have one baby giraffe who's about 2 weeks old.
It's down against the green screen.
He's right there.
I can see him.
It's hard to see. Baby zebra. Daddy, there's a baby zebra over here.
Yeah, I got a picture of it.
What's the baby's name?
Of time to completely exterminated. However, free-ranging Barbary sheep are successfully introduced into the canyons of the Colorado River and into parts of California.
Oh, I just ran out of battery.
Shut up. Shut up.
Ow.
On your right-hand side there, just on the other side of the fence, we have our takin. The takin inhabit the mountainous regions of western China and the Himalayas in Asia. There are 4 subspecies of takin and each has a different range. Here at the spur we have the Sichuan takin. They live in altitudes between 1,000 and 4,500 meters above sea level, where they feed on a variety of vegetation such as grasses, buds, leaves, bark, and bamboo.
Did you get it?
The first 2 are like truly tore them down.
What?
Tore them down.
Who did?
Stop over there. This is used by my parents.
Laying down on your left-hand side there, the large brown animals that you see, those are our North American elk. The elk are the second largest member of the deer family, and they're found throughout the plain and foothill regions of the Rocky Mountains in Canada and the United States. It's only the male elk that grows the antlers, and during its growth period, they're covered with a soft velvety material which supplies them with a rich supply of blood. During breeding season, a male elk has up to 60 females in his harem. The females are won through fights, and they depend on herd life to reduce endangerment on themselves as well as their young.
Remember Diane, you could feed the deer? Yeah. Remember that?
Wait, where was that?
It wasn't at Burning. Well, yeah, it was just like,
These whites, the light brown ones. This is deer, baby deer.
Also on your left-hand side there, we have our North American bison. The bison is a symbol of this continent's strength. At one time, there's an estimated 70 to 80 million bison herds in the Americas. Bison herds can only be found in captivity, where the domestication will ensure their survival and provide stock for future release programs. Bison calves are born after a 9-month gestation period, usually in the late spring. When they're first born, their fur is a rusty color, and as they get older, they begin to develop the shaggy manes and horns that their parents possess. Deer. The fallow deer come from Europe and Great Britain, where they're often called the park deer. During the summer, the fallow deer coat is very thin and fine, and the spots are readily visible. In the winter, the coat becomes thicker, and you cannot see the spots as well. We do have a large number of fallow deer here in this reserve because they do breed very easily in captivity. Usually in late May or early June this takes place. When fully grown, the fallow deer stand about 1 meter in height and weigh up to 85 kilograms.
I did. Then that one is really big antlers. Look at that. Daddy, look at that one. It's really big antlers.
No, this is an underlog.
I got a baby else.
When you go here, did you go your own or on the bus?
Where is it?
to the crane or whatever.
Oh, you missed it. Just stop.
I wanted to get it.
All trains.